Halloween 2018 is about how Laurie Strode is living life now because of the events that happened 40 years ago with her friends going against Michael Myers. She has a daughter and a granddaughter, and they're all in a rocky relationship with each other, while you got Michael Myers at Smith's Grove with him and a bunch of other inmates who are about to get transported to another county. We end up having a bus accident and all the criminals go their separate ways while we have Michael Myers coming back to Haddonfield, killing people, looking for Laurie Strode. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? So I am on the final trilogy of this movie franchise right now until we get any more here, and then on Halloween we have the ranking video. This is one of those movies I only got a chance to buy it. I didn't see it at the theaters, and on my first two viewings I really did actually enjoy it. Has that changed at all, or do I still actually think that this is a pretty decently good Halloween movie? Well, stay tuned. And going with the likes, the first thing I want to talk about is the way that this movie starts off, where you actually have two reporters at Smith's Grove who want to interview Michael Myers. Well, Michael Myers and all the other inmates are actually outside, so one of these doctors named Dr. Sertain ends up taking them out there. Now, all of these inmates are actually in like a little box of their own. They're all chained to the ground or to rocks, maybe even both of them. So they all have their own little space where they can't attack each other or anybody else that's going to come visit. So you get these two reporters. And the thing with them is that they're really trying to get Michael to talk. That's really what the main thing is. Michael Myers can talk, he just refuses to actually do it. So these two reporters come to actually, pretty much that's the whole thing is, we want you to talk, Michael, and we got something to show you. And I thought that was actually pretty intense without going into too much details in that first 5 minutes of the movie. You get to the credits, the beginning credits, and I love, of course, the awesome Halloween theme song is great in this, but it's actually the pumpkin I really like. I like how it's very cool, very unique of what they do with the pumpkin while they're showing the names of the actors and the people behind the camera there. It may not be my favorite. It might be my second or my third favorite one. I think the original Halloween 2 is probably my favorite beginning credits with a pumpkin, and especially how that one actually ends before you continue the rest of the movie there. Really did like that. Going with some of the characters, I have to go with Allison. She is Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter. She does a great job. She's a strong character. She's a great character. I don't know really much about this actress other than she's in this trilogy. I don't know what else she's actually been in, but she does a terrific job. There's even times in this movie that she could be very ballsy. She could be scared too when she needs to be if she sees Michael Myers, but she could be ballsy around a lot of other people. Like, she actually kind of gets that from her grandmother. I thought that was really cool there. Michael Myers, this actor who plays him does a terrific job. He is scary as hell. He is very brutal when it comes to his kills in this movie. And I just really enjoy what we get from Michael Myers himself. Now, the mask is so fantastic. I got to give credit to whoever is the team that created this mask. This is supposed to be a mask that was, pretty much buried and gone for 40 years. And I like all the cuts and all the scratches on the mask. This is definitely a damn good Michael Myers mask. And as I just said, kudos to whoever the team that actually did this. Really was thrilled. You got an actor named Will Patton who plays a character named Frank Hawkins. He is actually the sheriff. Will Patton has always been an actor. I've seen him in any kind of movie where he always brings his A game. He always does a good job. I mean, when he knows that Michael Myers escaped, he gets very intense of trying to find out where he is, and if he's going to try to arrest him, try to kill him, whatever he needs to do. And I got to say that Will Patton does a great job in the scenes that we get. He's one of these characters that you are happy to follow when he's on screen as much as Allison and as much as Michael Myers. So kudos on that there. This is a truly gory, bloody movie, And for anybody out there who is a gore hound when it comes to horror movies, you will be satisfied. When it comes to the dialogue, most of this movie, I really am enjoying what people are actually saying. Even if it's some of the characters I'm going to be talking about in the dislikes, I still think that for the most part, their acting was really good, and the way that they delivered their lines was actually pretty good there. I'll give them a lot of credit. And the final like I want to talk about is Act 3. Oh my God, when it comes to Laurie versus Michael, once again, I enjoyed the twist and the turns that we actually get in this. I mean, you may have seen movies like this, the way that you have a third act like this, but you've never seen it in a Halloween movie, and they do a terrific job when it actually comes to that. Oh, and I should also mention is that I thought this was directed very well by David Gordon Green. And moving on to the dislikes, let's start with some of the characters here. I want to start off with Laurie Strode, once again played by Jamie Lee Curtis. I was very disappointed with her performance in this. And the biggest thing for me has got to be that how paranoid that she is in this movie 40 years later, where she was more impressive in Halloween H2O, no matter what your opinion is about that. Most people do agree that at least 20 years of being paranoid compared to another 20 years on top of that to be 40, it seems like after your friends, your 3 or 4 friends that die, that it still bothers you after all this years. It would make sense if it was like, oh, Michael Myers escapes Smith's Grove, which eventually he does, and that kind of makes sense. But it's like, if he's been locked up for 40 years after the events of the first John Carpenter movie, you think that you'd be a little bit more safe. So I just never really believed her performance really that much in this. There are moments where she becomes a badass character, but it's more in Act 3, and you have to kind of wait like an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes until you actually get that. The one who plays her daughter, I cannot remember the character's name, but the actress's name is Judy Greer, and she cannot act her way out of a wet paper bag. She is horrible. I don't care for her as an actress. Her character is stupid. I mean, I swear to God that she's just sleepwalking through her dialogue, where I think she has some great dialogue, but if you had a better actress or a director that actually really push her a little bit more, maybe I would have enjoyed this movie a little bit better. But when it came to that particular actress and character, I did not care for her one bit. The actor who plays Allison's father, he is dull and just fucking stupid, and that's all I really want to say about that guy. You got Dr. Sertain, who is, well, they even say it in the movie, well, I would say, I think it's Laurie that actually says it to him, that, oh, you're the new Dr. Loomis. Well, the way it was, and that's how I thought it was actually going to go. I thought, well, maybe they wasn't trying to copy and paste what Donald Pleasance did, but it would have been interesting if he was the one, maybe along with Laurie, to kind of be the ones to save the day against Michael Myers at Haddonfield. And the direction that they go with him on that, I thought was really definitely not the way I wanted that guy to actually go. So after a while, it kind of pissed me off if it was the character himself or the way that he was written or directed to go that way. I did not like that one bit there. We have the 2 reporters. The only thing I could say about them is that they're just on screen just to piss off the characters that they talk to. It doesn't matter who they're talking to, because it's not just Michael they talk to. They may talk to a couple other people, and I swear it's just there for them to, oh, well, we're just those kind of characters. And I'll say again, some of the writing when it comes to that part with these 2, I did not care for them one bit. So this is something that John Carpenter, and I know he's not the only one, but he might have been one of the first ones to actually say that this is actually the true sequel, not the one from 1981, because he doesn't like that sequel. But he actually, other than Halloween Season of the Witch that he liked, none of those movies exist. We have 1978 Halloween, and then on this trilogy, these are the only 4 Halloween movies that actually exist. And I hate when people really do that there, because I think that this is actually not a bad movie, but it's not, in my opinion, like it's like the greatest sequel out there. I'm sorry, there's going to be other movies that's going to be a lot better on my ranking than this particular movie. And I just hate when, not just John Carpenter, but just anybody, oh, this is the real sequel. And I always was pissed off when Texas Chainsaw Massacre kept doing that, saying it's the true sequel and not the Dennis Hopper one. I'm like, no, that isn't. So I actually have mentioned this with the Rob Zombie review, the first one to be exact, but in the original Halloween 2, the big secret was that Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are actually brother and sister. In this one, they're no longer related, and that made sense in my opinion. I actually did like that, where they were related, why Michael kept going after her. In this one, what is the point that he's going after her? The only thing I could think is that he wants revenge from what happened 40 years ago. I just think that I felt like that made like no sense, just for Michael to go after her. I don't know. I really don't understand why they would go the way that they actually did. When it comes to the kills in this movie, I did not really care that much for them. A lot of them were just okay. I wasn't impressed with most of the kills in here. I'd say maybe 2 of them were really good. It's great that this movie was gory and bloody as hell, but the kills were just pretty stupid or silly to me there. And then the final dislike is going to be the way that this film ends. They actually pretty much rip off one of the older Halloween movies. I won't say which sequel it was, where I'm like, oh, okay, so, you know, none of those other ones exist, but you're going to rip off the ending to one of those other movies for this new one here. And I mean, again, they tweak it here or there, but I still wasn't thrilled with the way they ended up ending this movie. They could have actually ended it a lot better, a little bit more powerful than what we got out of this here. Halloween 2018, I'm going to go 2 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. Thank you guys so much for watching another movie review. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.